Testing, 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 testing. I'm off the deep end. Watch as I dive in. I'll never leave the ground. Flash to the surface when you can't hurt us. We'll fall from the shadow now. Yay! In the shallow, shallow. In the shallow, shallow. Let me know if there's any, I don't know why, it just like will mute sometimes. I added a second mic. It looks like, wait, maybe, let me try something else. Testing. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Dang it, I was talking so much and no one could hear me. Oh, you know what? It did update today, so maybe the update messed something up. Anyways, back to talking, now that people can hear me. So I have my bagel bites. Pots up, James. I got my bagel bites, and I am making the bagel butt currently. So I originally threw them like this, they were flat, and then I curved it up, and I connected the top and so it became hollow, like these. It's completely hollow. And then I set them upside down to dry because they're gonna sit like this when they're finished. But I wanted to make the butt look more like a bagel instead of just round. Oh, thank you, Techno! 3 whole months. Thanks for the Prime sub. I love Jeff Bezos's money. Okay. I was doing this whole thing before. I was like tapping it. Hey, yikes, up lit. I was tapping it because it sounded so nice, some like ASMR, but apparently no one could hear it. This one doesn't sound as good as the other one, but I already put a hole in it, so. Because they're hollow. Anyways, okay, so I'm working on the bagel butt. And I'm gonna put a hole in it, which will also help it dry quicker and faster and better. Yeah, good ASMR. I want eventually to make like a compilation of all the good pottery ASMR sounds because there's so many, and also I've just like made a lot on stream. Well, also I don't have those streams anymore. I need to be better about saving my streams because I have not saved any. I think I'm going to start downloading them and putting them onto YouTube. There's always something I'm missing that I need to do. Or maybe I can just make a reel first of all the good ASMR stuff. That'll be quicker. Okay. I don't know what like the best bagel butt would look like, but the clay is still pretty soft, luckily. So that means it's pretty easy to carve and move around. How's everyone doing today? How's your Thursday? Yeah. What's stopping you? Yikes, go get some bagel bites. I thought about adding, so I just tweeted that I was streaming because I figure I should probably do that. And I was like, oh, should I at Bagel Bites official? I decided not to because I don't know. There wasn't a picture or anything. I'll probably tag them when I have a picture, but for now it's just the statement that I'm working on them. You wouldn't think this is a bagel bite right now, I don't think. It looks like a weird butthole. Kind of looks like a bundt cake, actually. A chocolate bundt cake. I figured they don't have to be like too perfect, right? Because it's bread, like it's bagel. No one's gonna care how smooth and perfect it is, right? I just have to remind myself and tell myself that because I am pretty perfectionistic and I'll just keep trying to like smooth it out and make it perfect. I don't know if you guys can hear, but I left the music playing. And I don't know like whose music or channel it is. It's just whatever was playing in the studio. And it's very diverse. It was playing the Lady Gaga song, and now it's playing All American Rejects. Come on, come on. What is wrong? Okay, no, I'm just trimming. There's like a little edge here that I don't want to stick out too much, so I'm going to trim that off. Also, one thing about these bagel bites is that they're going to have some black spots because that's all the clay I have. I don't have any just good bagel colored clay. I mean, I guess I could paint white clay bagel color, but I'm not doing that. We're too far in. We'll just say they're like poppy seed bagels. Poppy seed bagel bites. Alright, after I make all the bagel butts, I'm going to make the cheese, which luckily for me is just like a square. They're all cubes. The cheese, the pepperoni, they're cubular. So that means that I can just roll out some clay and then cut it into little cubes and stick it right on there. Alright, so this is what I got. I'm not doing, too extensive on the bagel butt. That's our little butt. It's cute, right? It's cute. And that's where all the cheese is gonna go, the open face. I don't make a butt. Alright, 1 down, 5 to go. I do hope that I can make more than 5. Thanks, yikes. We'll have to see, though. I think they'll take a while to dry because they're so thick and hollow. So they just have to dry really slowly so they don't crack. No one else can feel it for you, only you can learn it. Really eclectic music. And I also don't know when I'll be able to throw. I might try this Sunday evening. But I'm gonna be away all of Saturday. And I'm going to be participating in some adult juice games. So I don't know how productive I'm going to be on Sunday. But the jury's really out on that so far. Also, there's a Formula One race in the evening-ish. Yeah, it's gonna be really lit. That's a year ago. The last year's event was the creation of the nasty chat in my Discord. It's been a whole year of nasty chatting. This one's got a little bigger hole. I'm gonna smooth this out though. Some like chunks. Ooh, I thought this was my sponge. They look kind of similar. Yeah, I don't know how much nastiness I'm gonna get into this year though. We'll see. We will see. There will be some new so this is with my coworkers, I should say. So we've got some not new coworkers, but coworkers that haven't come in previous years coming. So that'll be interesting. Each bagel bite is going to be unique. Each bagel bite is special in its own way. Ow, just poked myself. Okay, set it down. See how nice and flat it'll be. Okay, here's another butt. We got two different butts. We got a little tighter one. This one's a little looser. But they're all great. And I need to. I'm not sure. Where do you think I should put my initials? Should I put it on the bottom here? Maybe I could do it on the side. Because I'm not going to glaze the outside. I don't think. Not sure. going in on these. You know, I haven't had a good bagel in a while. There's so many good bagel places in New Jersey. I feel very fortunate. I used to, in Minnesota, but my bagel knowledge was Bruegger's Bagels, which I thought were good. And now having had New Jersey and New York bagels, I feel sad. I feel sad that I only had Bruegger's Bagels for so long. They're just not fluffy. I used to get the cinnamon raisin bagel too. Like, I didn't even know how good an everything bagel was. I would just get cinnamon raisin and like strawberry cream cheese. That's sad to me. No fresh green onions. No, just like artificially flavored strawberry cream cheese and a sweet, sweet cinnamon raisin bagel. Does anyone else have what is your bagel order? Nowadays, my bagel order, if I'm getting cream cheese, this is in like a, you know, pork roll, egg and cheese type situation. My choice is green onion. But if that doesn't look good, I'll just get like veggie or plain. And then I've discovered that everything bagels are just too much sometimes. And they overpower the green onion sometimes. So I go for a sesame bagel. That is my bagel. You know, poppy seeds, they're okay. Onion, okay. A little powerful. But sesame seeds, perfect. Especially when they get toasted, a toasted sesame seed. Ooh. That's a kind of nice sound. There's nothing like a good toasted sesame seed bagel, green onion, cream cheese, fresh, made in-house, day of. Nothing like it. There is a bagel place near me that makes really, really weird bagels. Like a Cookie Monster bagel, and it's blue and blue cream cheese and Oreos, and I've shown it on Rod's channel before. It's pretty out there, and the lines can get very long there in the morning, on a Sunday morning, a Monday morning, or Sunday or Saturday morning. But I've never gotten one of those funky ones because I don't think I could actually eat it, you know. I'd have like one bite and that's all I could eat. But I am curious. I need to find someone who will go with me. I need like a group of people to go with me to get one of those bagels, and we can all have one bite. They were all over TikTok for a little while. forgot to trim that one. Okay, here's a nice rustic bagel butt. They're pretty heavy. They kind of have to be though I guess I could trim more, but it's okay. I don't want to poke a hole in them on accident, so I think I'll just stick with a little heavier just in case. And they're not going to have too much cheese, I don't think. I went on the Bagel Bites official Twitter, and it's just basically people posting a picture and complaining that like they were missing a bagel bite, or one bagel bite didn't have enough cheese or enough sauce or something else the matter. Just people complaining and then being like, oh no, sorry to hear that, please DM us with the packaging information. But there were not very many fun tweets. It was mainly just that. There were some fun tweets from like a while ago, but nothing recently. I'm gonna go get my water. I'll be right back. It is very warm outside today and very warm in the studio, and I don't think the AC is on. I guess I could turn it on. The kilns are on, so it's warm. There are like ceiling fans, but unless they're directly on top of you, which they are not on top of me, they're doing nothing. I feel none of it. Oh, this is kind of crazy. So today, oh, hello Raiders. Hello, Woodcraft by Owen. Welcome Owen. Let me shout you out. I assume you were, oh no, Streamlabs not working. Oh no, Streamlabs is, oh, I forgot to do the shout out thing. That's why. There we go. There we go, another makers and crafters. What were you wood crafting today? I am making some bagel bites out of clay. So far I have these shapes. So I'm working on the bagel butt right now. So when I throw them upside down like this, and then I connect the top and close it and make a hollow form. So this is hollow right now. And then I flip them over to dry because they're gonna sit like that when they're finished. But on this one you can see it's just flat. So I am carving a little butt into it to make it look more like a bagel. You finish off buffing and polishing some pendants, and then you try to get your new laser engraver working properly. Fun. Pendants sound cool. A laser wood engraver. That sounds very fun and very dangerous. Did it work properly? Or was it not working too well? So my name is Molly or Moll, whatever. I'll respond to either. I do pottery in my free time. Think you got it in the end. That's good. I'm sure it'll take some practice, right? Could easily start engraving anything with a laser, I guess. What are the pendants for? Just for yourself or for fun? I do mainly functional pieces, so stuff you can use in your everyday life. Cups, mugs, vases, pitchers, teapots. Anything. I'm always trying new things. Sometimes I make things that are just for fun, like bagel bites, and sell them at craft markets and events. Oh, nice. Awesome. If you have like a social media, Instagram or something, you should post it so everyone can take a look. But I've been doing this for about 3 years now. I do a lot of commissions for friends and family and people I meet on Twitch. I'm making these for event I'm going to. It's a little like convention for a streamer and podcaster, and we kind of just made up the event. And I'm making some like souvenirs for everyone who attends, and one of the things is bagel bites. Awesome. Check out your Instagram. Hopefully my computer doesn't like when I do more than one thing, so we'll see if it'll let me open it. Ooh. These are cool. So it looks like there's wood, and then is that resin, or what is the colored part? It's really pretty. Give you a follow. Yeah, the stream didn't like that, so it's it'll catch up eventually. Wood and resin, very cool. I only pretty much use clay, but I also use glaze, of course. Always trying new types of glaze as well. I don't have a schedule or anything for pottery streams. This isn't my studio. This is just a studio I have a membership to. And they let me stream. But I don't like to stream when there's other people here, so I have to be strategic at the days and times that I come. Alright. This one's almost done. Man, it is so warm in here. Okay, the stream's caught up now. I feel like I'm just turning into a tomato. Just smoothing out the edges a little bit. I'm very, very used to making everything perfect, you know, clean edges, no dings or nicks in anything, very smooth. But these are bagels, and bagels aren't perfect, so I'm like trying to remind myself not to make it too perfect, because then it'll look really fake. So here's another little bagel butt. And these will shrink. They'll still be probably bigger than the normal bagel bite size. However, it's difficult to work in miniature scale, so maybe if I make some more, I'll try and make them smaller. And then after I make all the butts, I just have the one left. I'm going to add cheese and maybe some pepperoni. So that, luckily, their cheese and pepperoni is just cubes. So what I can do is simply roll out some clay and then cut it up into little cubes and stick it on top. And I think that'll do it. Like, I think that'll look pretty realistic. And then I'll glaze it, of course, in the colors, closest colors I can get. I might do like some just cheese, some cheese and pepperoni, so little pepperoni cubes, red cubes. There's also some that are like double cheese or triple cheese or something. So I can do an orangey cheese and a white cheese, some different colored cheeses. I also saw that they have garlic bread bagel bites, which I'm not going to make, but I'm very curious to try them. Hey Pichu slapping butt. Look at those nice follower emotes and animated emotes. Looking great. What's up? How's it going? I'm working on my bagel butts. Just making it look a little more bagel-like. Earlier today, I was at work and I stayed a little late chatting with my boss and a coworker. And I mean, it wasn't too late. It was 5:15, right? And I'm cleaning up, taking my time a little bit, putting stuff away. And then the alarm goes off, and the alarm says there's a fire in the administration building or portion of the building. Evacuate the building. And I'm like, great, perfect. If I had left like a couple minutes earlier, would not have to deal with this. And what happens when there's a fire, because I work in a science lab that is attached to a manufacturing facility, so sometimes there's like actually really bad fires. And when there's a fire, even if it's not in my portion of the building, oh, I really like squish this one in. Could you not just evacuate and leave early? Here's the thing, no, because you're not allowed to leave when there's a fire alarm. This one's getting a little out of whack. Let me flatten it. You have to go to a designated area in the parking lot, and then the safety guy who's in charge, or person, safety person, it just, the one that was there today, just happens to be a guy, has to like check your name off. So yeah, you're not allowed to leave until you're given the all clear. Sucks. Of course, at 5:15, everyone just wants to leave. And there were only like 10 of us left in the building. Not very many people. But luckily, I don't think it was a real fire because we got to leave, like, it ended maybe 10 minutes after the alarm went off. So I don't think it was a real fire. I think someone just like pulled it, or it's faulty. The fire thing was faulty. Luckily, because if it was a real fire, then it would have been there a lot longer. Alright, this one's not as nice as the other ones. But it's okay. It'll just be like the one in the box that all those people were messaging Bagel Bites official Twitter and saying, this one didn't have enough cheese. There we go. That's the last one. No Bagel Bite. Okay, so let me move these. I'm just gonna put this back on top so it stays damp-ish. You know, it stays leather hard, so I can work on the cheese portion. First I need to hydrate though. I'm overheating. Strategically positioned my camera over here so that I could show you me rolling everything out. However, the roller's right here. This is the wedging table where I roll out the clay, but I need to do that too, and then I need to roll it out, so we'll do both. I don't have much clay left, I need to buy more. So this is reclaimed clay. It was clay from previous projects that you know, I'm gonna sit down. I'm so lazy right now. Clay that got either, you know, trimmed off the top when I was throwing, or it was slip, you know, the liquidy clay that comes off the clay when you're throwing. I collect all that. It could have also been trimmings from when I trimmed the leather hard clay, and then I let that dry out. And then rehydrate that till it's a nice soupy mess of clay, and then I leave it on this to dry out. I was just checking my wedging. I did a good job. I just cut this chunk in half, and you can see there's no air bubbles. And let me show you what it looked like before. It looked like this. It was just a bunch of pieces of clay smashed together. So if you can't use clay like this because there's so much air in between it, obviously. So that's why you have to wedge it together to get a nice ball like this. So this was like this, and I cut it in half. Look, no air bubbles. Yay. I don't know how much clay I'll need to make the cheese. I'm going to start with a smallish amount. Unfortunately, I let this clay sit out for too long, and now it's too dry, so it's hard. It's very hard clay. So that sucks for me. Clay is just like, has such a small time window to be perfect. Alright. So I'm just swishing it out a little bit before I roll it out. So this is a roller over here. I don't know how well you can see it. I will move the camera a little bit. I don't know, you can kind of see. I don't think you'd be able to see anymore. Basically, there's two rolling pins next to each other, on top of each other, and you move the clay through the two rolling pins and it smushes it into a specific width. It is so handy. And there's these giant wheels that look like I'm a captain of a ship. I'm the captain now. Look at that. Look at that. Look how thin that is. It's honestly too thin. I did not want it to be this thin. I'm gonna change the diameter real quick. This thing changes the diameter. Let's go half an inch. Okay, I'm gonna try to smush this together. We'll see how that works. It might be a bad idea. We'll see. It might just crumble. Oh, it's too thick. Okay, let's do. I don't know, what is that? And 3/8? Let's do 3/8 of an inch. Okay, it is 3/8 of an inch now. Okay, and the reason I'm doing it a little thicker than I want it because you have to smooth it out. Let's squish this down a little. I'm going to take my metal rib and just smooth it out to get it compressed. Compressing it just pushes the clay together to remove as much air as possible. It also shows me where there's air bubbles that I can try and pop. Can't tell if that's an air bubble or not. Not anymore. I'm gonna do that on both sides. And this makes it a little thinner, so that's why I originally did it a little bit thicker. Oh, here's some more air bubbles. There's a big one. I'm just poking it out, and then I'll recompress that. Sometimes I have to do that a couple times. So I don't do too much hand building, but this is, some hand building basics. Okay, so now we've got a nice, flat, smooth piece of clay. I want it to be a little drier so that it doesn't stick to itself too much when I'm cutting it. It'll hold its shape better as well, so the cubes are more cubular than smushing together when I cut them. I don't know if this is gonna help. Now it just feels like I'm making pizza. I'm gonna put it under the fan. Literally, I'm gonna stick my hand up and put it under the fan for like a second and see if that helps. It's very surprising how well the how well the fans dry things very quickly. Another trick is to use a hair dryer, which is, I don't do it super hot, but that helps too. Actually, I might do that right now, because I have a hair dryer right here. Thank you. I only did a little bit. I don't want it to get too hard because if it gets too dry, then it won't stick well to the bagel bite bottom base thing. Okay, what do I want to use to cut? Where's my knifey tool? You know, I want to use, let me see if I can find the X-Acto knife, because that works the best. Okay. This gives the cleanest edge. Oh, that's a fresh blade. Okay. So I'm gonna cut off just the edges first because that's like a cracked clay. It won't look as nice. Just like cutting off all the edges on your bread. It looks so much better, and it'll taste better too. Ain't it fun? 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 Okay. I apologize, I cannot sing. But I have a very hard time not singing when there's sauce. Okay, so that's a nice thick slab of clay. Looks yummy. It looks like chocolate or like leather. Looks tasty. So when the clay is finished, it's gonna be a lot of the stuff I make is this clay. It's speckled, so it's black speckles. Yummy. Yummy, right? And it'll be tan. So I was saying it's gonna be a poppy seed bagel because it's gonna have black spots. And I'm making the cubes a little bigger than normal because they are gonna shrink down. And since my bagels are already bigger than normal bagel bites, why not just continue to make them everything bigger? Bigger is better, right? This is now a Texas stream where everything is bigger. Where's our Texas correspondent? Where's QR? Where's Corduroy? We're missing our Texas correspondent. This is very satisfying. One of my favorite things to do is just simply cut clay. Roll it out and cut it. Running out of room. This playlist is weird. It's like songs that were popular not too long ago, but then also songs that were popular when I was in middle school. Okay, those got a little, I regret that. They're a little too big. Maybe I'll make some smaller. I'll cut this in half. So there's like a variety of sizes of cheese. And I think I'm gonna need to make more too. I don't think this is gonna be enough for all 5. Which is fine. It's very quick and easy to make. And I feel like I need a little bowl for all of my cheese. Let me get one of my bisque pieces. I have these cups that I made that are gonna go with the crafts, and they're bisque, so I think I will put the cheese in there. You know, like a chef, you know, they have their cheese that they sprinkle on there. Cutting off, just spit on myself, cutting off the triangular bits, and then I'm just gonna cut little cubes. I feel like I have to do them one at a time because this knife is not very long. Okay, but I don't want them to stick together too much, so. Okay, this is working a little better, maybe. Figuring out how to be a clay chef. What I want is a tape, no more. This cannot wait. I'm yours. See me, open up the place, there you're free. Look into your heart, you'll find the sky is yours. So please don't, please don't, please don't be complicated. So the owner of the Pottery. Oh my god, my brain is melting. The owner of this pottery studio, sometimes she sees me working and she's like, why don't you like do it a quicker way? And just like various things like glazing. Sometimes I'll like very meticulously draw a line instead of using tape, you know, which tape makes the line for you instead of you having to make the line. And like this is so silly. I'm sure there's like a pretty quick way to do this, maybe, I don't know, but I'm taking my sweet ass time to cut up a whole bunch, like a whole bunch of cubes of clay. Some would not want to do that and would think that sounds like an awful time, so boring. But I enjoy doing meticulous things like this. Sometimes. It depends on what the thing is. But this type of meticulous thing, I'm like, this is so satisfying. I'm gonna end up with like a whole bunch of little cubes of clay. Like, look at that. Look at that. I love it. I love my little cubes of clay. It's so satisfying. And I've really learned in pottery to take the long way to do things. That it's worth it in the end. Like, for me, it's a lot more satisfying to have a couple pieces that are really nice. You know, like I took the time to clean up the bottoms, to get the glaze just right. Then to have like a larger quantity of pieces that just aren't up to my standards. And I suppose if you don't do pottery, then you might not notice the things that I notice, but I do it more for myself. You know, I want to be proud of what I make, and if I see like some glaze drip or some, you know, nick in the clay, then I don't like it as much, even though it totally looks fine and is totally usable. Okay, I think I'll have one cup for the little pieces of cheese and then this cup for the bigger pieces of cheese, and I'll kind of like mix them together and see what looks good. Did anyone in chat watch Galoigi on C-SPAN or the House Judiciary Committee yesterday? I don't know if I've ever really watched, you know, the government in action in that way. Like, watching bills get voted on and argued with. Yeah, great work, Gal. I don't think Gal's here. I just wanted to talk about it. It was really fascinating. I mean, it was wild to see, like, people talking about certain thing. Quite hot debate for the boringest bills. Exactly. I was like, these bills are so boring. How do they keep bringing it back to, like, that the police are being defunded? Like, it felt like every bill, no matter what it was about, they would somehow bring it back to the liberals are their campaign to get the cops defunded. Crime is up. Truly vile people on the committee. Yeah. it was very interesting, and honestly, it was hard to watch. Like, it raised my blood pressure so much. I'm like, this is how our government works. Like, I get it. Yeah, you need to argue about bills, but it's like no one's mind is going to be changed. They just want their time to talk about how we need to pray to God instead of enforcing any type of laws to help people. Like, most arguments were disingenuous. Yeah. It was very self-serving, I'm sure. And, I wasn't listening super closely, and I didn't hear everything because I was also working, so I could only pop in and out. But there were just so few conversations or arguments where I was like, yeah, like, I'm enjoying this. This is government. It's great. You were watching the part where they did not want the bill to be called active shooter. Yeah, that was wild to me. They were just arguing, and it was so confusing. It was like this system seems to already mostly be in place, and also like the sheriffs and all these other groups want this. Why are you voting no? We're just voting no because it's called active shooter? Like, I don't know. I didn't really hear most of the arguments against it, but that argument, or at least them talking about that bill, went on for hours, it seemed like. Mostly grabbed for sound bites, given most of the time the bills get passed along pretty long. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I was very surprised sometimes when, especially the first bill, when it seemed like there was so much arguing about when these judges were allowed to retire and like what their pension would be. There's so much argument, and then it passed like easily. I was like, oh, that was really confusing. Why were there so much arguing about it, and then it just passed? I guess intentionally confusing. Yeah, sound bites, exactly. You just want to be like, hey, constituents, look at me arguing for this thing you want, even though it's completely unrelated to what this bill we're actually talking about is. I just get my couple minutes to talk, so I'm going to talk about anything. Love when someone goes, I'm leaning to vote yes, but yeah. I guess I just don't know as well like how it the government works with those markups. Like yeah. Because it seemed like there were amendments afterwards, after the fact, or I couldn't tell if they were related, how that worked. Alright, I think I'm going to make more cheese. So far, I've got some big cheese and little cheese cubes. Good, about even amount of both so far. You were shocked. See Rod's 2.0 on Gail's laptop. Yes, I'm kidding. Yeah, that was so scary. Rod's like really deep. You think Rocksaw had anything to do with the January 6th events? Do you think they did that? Is Rocksaw a Proud Boy? Thanks, Scourge, for saying hi. I hope you're having a good day. What is that emote? Okay. Making more cheese. Okay, let me roll this out. You should have a random email. Let me show you. I got I'm working on cheese, so I've got some little cubes and some bigger cubes. Maybe the bigger ones will be pepperoni or something, I don't know. And then I'll show you the little butts. I gave all the bagels butts. Don't they look like bagels? Isn't that awesome? Bagel butts, bagel butts. You would eat that? Good. That's my goal. Okay. This is not as much clay as I thought it would be, but that's fine. Should I make it a little bit thinner? Nah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. They've been pretty fun to make so far. I hope I can make some more. I just gotta figure out when. I'm just compressing it to get any air bubbles out. Oh yeah. Now I can see some air bubbles and I can just poke them out. I was playing the markup on my work computer, so I was forcing my coworkers to listen, and during the active shooter one I felt really bad because we got like an active shooter video that we have to watch. Gotta go, okay, bye. And my coworker was watching it and she said it was really upsetting. I haven't watched it yet, I keep forgetting. And so she was like pretty upset by it, and then all of a sudden, like a couple hours later, I'm playing a video that's talking about people, well, it has people arguing about active shooter stuff. She was like, what are you watching? Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I forced my coworkers to listen, and my boss actually thought it was very cool that I was watching it. But I was telling her that like I was getting, my blood pressure was going so high because it was so frustrating. And she was like, why don't you turn it off? And I was like, I can't. No, I don't want to be president. No, I don't want to be president. I saw President Biden, not Biden. I haven't seen President Biden. Thinking of the lab shootings in the porn reboot movie. Yeah, if there were bullets in my lab, there would be a lot of explosions. But yeah, I couldn't turn it off. It was like kind of like watching a car crash, you know? Like you don't want to look, but you can't look away. Like it was making me so angry, but also I couldn't stop watching. Did anyone else have the same experience? Like they were so frustrated, but they couldn't stop watching? Because that's how I was. Oop, this one's too thin. That's gonna be some real thin cheese. too thin. Fun fact, Amy Klobuchar lived in the neighborhood that I grew up in, or like her family did. And I went to an after school program with her daughter, and we were good friends. But I haven't seen her since, like, I don't know, middle school? Maybe just elementary school. I don't think I went to it in middle school. And then they moved to Washington because obviously she's a senator. How about the argument that they don't want to alert people to an active shooter because they might want help? Yeah, that was wild. They were like, actually, it's gonna make it worse. Actually, having everyone know that there's an active shooter is gonna make things worse. Don't think that's the case, but you want to think that, that's fine. Because, you know, the police are doing everything that's needed. We don't need any help because the police will fix everything. And Amy Klobuchar used to go to my house for, my mom would teach Pilates to the neighborhood ladies. And I think she came over a few times. Yeah, Pilates. Her daughter, Abigail. Ooh, these are like medium size. I don't know if I should put them in the big. I'll put them in the big one. I guess they'll get mixed up. My like strongest memory of hanging out with her daughter, Abigail, is that we had like our own little hand massage business. You know, we were in elementary school. We had to find ways to entertain ourselves at this after-school program, and one of which was we found a bottle of lotion. Hi, droid. Making bagels? Yeah, like the food, but not to eat. Right now I'm making the cheese that'll go on top of the bagel bites. So, bagel bites, basically their cheese and their pepperoni, all their toppings are cubes. So I'm just chopping up a bunch of pieces of clay into cubes that I will put on top of bagel bites, which I'll show you. These are the bagel bites. They're resting. So they have a flat top, and then on the bottom, I don't know if you've had a bagel bite. Well, they're not, you know, very gourmet. They're in the frozen food aisle. They're a very good Super Bowl snack. That's when I've eaten them the most. You know, some people also just eat a lot of frozen snack things, so nothing wrong with that either. But I typically save it for Super Bowl parties. And then I'll glaze them to make it look like more like cheese. Is the hole gonna go all the way through? No, So when I originally threw them, they were completely hollow. So I threw it with the flat side down and then brought the top together and closed it and then flattened it. So it looked just like a dome. And then I, just now after they had dried for a little bit, cut a hole in the bottom and then kind of pushed the clay in and carved it out a bit so that it would look more like a bagel instead of just a dome. But I'm not going to cut a hole on the top because I'm going to put cheese on top so you wouldn't see it anyways. Also, it'll be a little less stable if there's two holes, but mainly just because you won't see it. Okay, I think after I cut up all these, I should have enough cheese. Wikipedia says Zola Jesus is Klobuchar's cousin. I don't know who that is. That name sounds familiar though. Her dad is like very famous in Minnesota. I think he ran newspapers or was a writer, maybe a news person. But yeah, her daughter and I would like give people hand massages at our after school program. Fun times. And then her mom became a senator and they moved away to Hollywood. No, just kidding, to Washington. And also, another cool thing about my neighborhood, well, I don't live there anymore, but where I grew up, our representative is Ilhan Omar. So, we have some famous politicians. Although I didn't vote for her because I don't live there anymore. My parents still do though. But I still follow honestly, I follow Minnesota politics more than New Jersey. I grew up with it, so I just knew it better. So I just don't know, like I still vote in my elections here, of course, and I do some research, but like the local ones, I just don't know the people as well as I did in Minnesota. But I really like our governor in New Jersey. He seems pretty good. I hope that another one of these markings that Gal will get to speak. Because apparently she almost spoke at this markup. The closest I got to politics was being on student council. I was in student council all through middle school and high school. I was even on the citywide student council. I don't think I had like an important position or anything, but I did it. You notice she had moved into the center chair at her table. Oh, she did. I didn't see that. Okay. Yeah, because that's the head clerk, I think. You like to see her give a stern talk to all these dang Congress freaks. Yeah. I'd like her to, like, when they ask, how do you vote? And they're like, nay, or whatever. And she can be like, are you sure? Did you really think this through? Are you sure you want to vote nay? I'm curious, I need to ask her what, like, the rest of the job is like. She's still new in it, so I'm sure she's still learning the ropes. But, like, what is the day-to-day like? I bet it's a lot of, like, sending stuff to reps about bills. Your favorite part was the dude driving and trying to put in his vote. I didn't see that. There was one guy at one point who, they were like, how do you vote? And he was like, nay. And then the clerk was like, Mr. Blah Blah votes nay. And then they were like, no, yay, I vote yay. And the clerk was like, Mr. Blah Blah votes yay. I was like, dude, pay attention. Like, this is important. Oh, that was the same guy, okay. That was funny. That reminds me of did you guys see in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, there was a man who was testifying, or I don't know what it's called, I guess testifying? Voting by Zoom. And he wasn't there in person. He was in his car. He was literally driving, and while the lawyers were, like, asking him questions and being like, who did you see leave the hotel, blah, blah, blah. And he was, like, doing, like, a U-turn. It was wild. And then afterwards, the judge was just like, that was one of the strangest things I've ever seen in a court. Voting by Zoom. I interned for a state senator. Fascinating learning all the silly procedures and traditions. Yeah, that sounds really interesting. Wow. Yeah, it was really funny to hear them say, what did they say, like, Congress? No, what did they call everyone? They had a name, and they had, like, a male version of the word and a female version, and it just sounded really funny every time they added woman to the end of it. I can't remember what it was. Oh, can't remember. Techno, do you still work in politics, or did that kind of scare you away from politics? There's a tradition where you can only walk in the Senate aisles if you are a senator. So you would have to walk around to get this. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh my gosh. When I was in, I want to say elementary school, maybe it was middle school, we got this really cool opportunity to go to the Minnesota Senate, like the state Senate, and sit in the desk and basically, like, perform basically what they did. Like, we had a bill. I think it was about, it had something to do with animals. Maybe it was like, if you abused animals, how much you have to go to jail for, or something like that. I don't remember exactly. Maybe it wasn't that bad. But it did have to do with animals, and we went through all of the things, like, there were a bunch of us senators, and then there were people who were, who sat in front of us, who had other roles, which I don't remember. But it was very cool. Like the room is so impressive. Like we literally were sitting at their desk. We could like open their desk. It was so cool. It's really stuck with me. Like there are a few things that I remember from school, and that was really cool. Didn't make me want to go into politics, but it was cool. I'm sure there are tons of weird procedures. Like how there's some of those weird laws that are just still in effect because no one has been like, oh yeah, we should not make that a law anymore. Even though we don't enforce it, we'll just leave it there. No more politics. I can see why, though, that the older you get, the more you get into politics. You know, like how old people are the only ones who vote anymore. Looking at Omar's district, it has Minneapolis proper, but none of St. Paul. Yeah, I think that's pretty normal. Because, is it by county? Kind of. And Minneapolis and St. Paul are in different counties. Maybe down the line I would like to still do policy work. Yeah, I definitely like is important. No, like laws are so important and someone has to fight for them, right? So I'm very impressed that by the people who do it because it's kind of thankless. Okay, let's see if this is enough cheese. I've got quite a bit. Yeah, I grew up in Minneapolis proper, on the border of St. Paul, but Minneapolis, 612, baby. Okay. I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to slip, but I'm definitely going to score the tops of these because that's how you get things to stick to each other. But I don't think I need to slip it because I might just use water. They're pretty soft still, both of the clays. Okay, here goes nothing. I'm so nervous. I want the cheese to work. I'm gonna do not like the whole thing. I'll leave like an edge, you know. So this is just a good way to join the clay together. And just scraped it with this little 5-prong tool. And then I'll add some water. Let me actually move these a little bit. And then get my cheese in here. I don't know the best way to do this. It's kind of hard doing things not on a table and just on the wheel. Actually, let me just flip this. Flip these on. Look! I made full bagels. Wait a second. That looks so cool. Look, it's like a real bagel. And you just cut it in half. And look at that. It's a real bagel. It's got holes on each side. Don't eat it! They're not ready. They have to cook first. Look at this one. Another bagel. Wow, that's so fun. Now I want some plain ones just to be like plain bagels. Okay. Stop being nervous, Molly. Just do it. Okay, get this water in there. And then I guess I'll start with some bigger pieces of cheese. Okay. Squish them in. Enough so that they stick, but not enough so that they get deformed. Okay. So they don't like have a super, like they're not too layered, you know, like it's kind of just like one layer from what I remember. So I'll just do like a few layers so that you don't see any of the cheese bottom. I don't want that. I want it to be fully covered. But I don't want too much, you know? We have to be somewhat realistic, and they don't have a ton of cheese if we're being realistic. What do you think about that? Let me make sure they're nice and on there. The ones that are okay. Let me know what you guys think. How's that look so far? Do I need to add more? There's maybe one spot right here. Need a Google bagel bite. Like, they're not piled super high. They're pretty flat. I think that looks good to me. They get a little melted in the oven. This won't get super melted, so I'll just like squish them a little bit. And then I need to rub out. I need to rub any part that that has any lines still. Make sure they're nice and squished. You don't want any cheese flying off in the kiln. That'd be bad. It'd be very bad. I think the mixture of sizes looks good. Like, it's nice to have some thicker, big ones on the bottom, but the little ones fill in nicely and look good. I like this one. Okay, I'm afraid some of these on top are gonna fall off, because they're not sticking to each other very well. So I'm gonna squirt and add just a tiny bit of water, because that'll help them stick together. Might just add water. And then once they're glazed, it'll stick. Like, hopefully they'll stick during bisque. But then after, the glaze will help everything stick together. Okay. Oh no, I messed up the stream again because I went to look at Google Bagel Bites. Messed up. Oh, it's getting late. I need to finish these up. Okay, game. It's hustle time, baby. Hustle. Time to hustle. This one's collapsing a tiny bit. If I blow into it, Minnesota Lieutenant Governor has a nose ring? Nice. That's cool. I follow the Minnesota governor on Twitter. He's pretty wholesome. Okay, more water, more cheese. That's how you make a pizza. Water and cheese. I think I made way too much cheese. Oopsies. It's okay. Yeah, Minneapolis and Minnesota. Oh, no, the stream is like so far behind. Come on, chill out. Calm down. First layer of cheese all around, and then I'll add some on top. Okay, I'll do a little scrapey. A little watery, and then add some cheese on top. suppose I can keep the cheese if I'm able to make more and use it for those. Shouldn't have scraped on top. I should have just done water. So now you can see some scrapes, and I don't like that. Cheese doesn't have scrapes normally. This one's looking a little messier. I think it's okay, right? It's fine. Still edible. Still be tasty. Squish it down a little. Okay. Clean up the edges. Get rid of all those scrapes. Whew! It's getting even warmer in here. Why does pottery always take so much longer than you expect it to? I think I can do a couple more on the outskirts here. Squish it so it looks a little melted, right? Alright, I don't want to spend too much time on it. So there we go. Second bagel. Oh. My neck is sore. Looking down is not the best thing to do all day. I do a lot of looking down. I think I need to like work from the middle and go out because I had a hard time filling in the squares when I just kind of did it randomly. Now I'm doing it a little more purposefully. Cheese is on the loose. So I don't really like these giant pieces of cheese. They're a little too big. Smaller ones are better, I think. But I'm still doing a mixture. got a nice layer, and now I'll add some water and add some more on top. Fill in some gaps, give it some depth. That got a little smushed, but that's fine. It's melted cheese after all. It's freaking cheese cubes. I've started switching to iced coffee in the morning. You know, it's weird. I can't remember the brand now. It's La CO something, La Colum, or I don't know. I bought it at Target. And I bought it last week. Got a little 4-pack of black cold brew. And it was 5 calories. And I'm not like super, oh my god, the stream still hasn't fixed itself. What the heck? I'm not like super picky about like, oh, this is too many calories. But I only noticed because I've started to look at calories more. And I bought it again this week, a new 4-pack, and it was 15 calories. They like changed the whole packaging and then added 10 calories. What? How does that happen? Where did those calories come from? And what did they mess up so wrong last time? Like, it's literally the same product. I didn't get, a different product. I didn't get one with sugar. It's still black coffee, still black cold brew. Yet it has 10 more calories than it did when I bought it last week. I'm so confused. I should go on their website and see if they mentioned like new packaging and new calories. I'm leaving a little edge on the bagels just because I feel like they don't always go straight to the edge, but I think I'll like leave some parts that go to the edge, just so it's a little, looks like it was just thrown on there. Yeah, I worked so fast. It's wild. Wish I worked that fast in real life. Instead, I take my time and then I'm like, no, it's almost 10 p.m. It's almost my bedtime. Alright, there's another one. See how long it takes me on stream to finish it from when I actually finished it. Oops. So I'm gonna let these dry decently slow because I don't want anything to crack. But the hole will help it. Pepperoni. Yeah, I think I'll color some of them red. I haven't decided if I want to use underglaze for all the colors, the red and the cheeses, or if I want to use a different kind of glaze. That the problem with the underglaze is that I might not have all the colors. Like I have reds, but they're like really bright reds. And then I don't know if I have like the creamy cheese color or the correct orange color. And I can do some work to mix colors, but that takes a lot more time to test. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might just use the stroking coats, which I have like every color possible. Oh, hey, the stream's caught up. Yay. I have pretty much every single color of the rainbow in stroking coat. So I can just go for those. I don't love their finish quite as much as underglazes. They're not always as bright, but it might be the best bet since I don't have like tons of time to work on this, and I would like to make more. But I'll have to do a little bit of looking into what underglazes I have, and what colors might work. We'll see. The first one was my favorite, I think. Although the last one looks pretty good too. The last one looks a little more melted, which might be nice in the end. Might be good. Smooth out the edges, and then I'll take a second look and see if any spots need filling. I really should have turned the AC on. That was a dumb move on my part. Okay. Another one done. One more left. I think I'm just gonna do little pieces. I think that might actually look the best. Plus, all the big pieces I have left are like the really big ones, so. Oh, I hope these don't collapse. Collapsed a little bit when I push down there. That actually did help. Blow some air into it. Bottom is a little thinner, I think. That's why it's collapsing a little bit. I don't think it'll collapse in on itself as long as it dries properly. Okay, add some water and add a couple extras. Fill in some gaps. It's too big. Too big. Cheeses aren't smushing as easily because they're drying. Clean it up. I keep smashing that with my thumb. You know, these are pretty fun to make so far. Some things that are, you know, kind of funny and cool to make are so tedious that they're not, they become not fun. But so far, the different parts, like the little dome and the cheese were fun to make, and then also putting them together so far is kind of fun and not too difficult. Which is important because I like to make things for fun. And if I'm not enjoying it, what's the point? Alright, I think I might be done. I think I just might be done. I want to add in the top. I don't know where it is. Okay. I'll show you. I'm going to add these together. I'm going to put my extra, the clay that I trimmed off in this little container. Show. Oh, I need to write my name on them. I think I'll do that on the side. No, I'll do it. I don't know. Yeah, I'll do the side. I think that's a good spot for it. Because I want the bottom to look like more like a bagel, look nice. So if I do it on the side, you can just not notice that if you don't face that side of it. Just write mall and then 22 for the year. Another year. I hate carving twos. I just feel like I can't do it well. And it really sucks because this year there's 2 twos. I don't even do the full like 20, 22. I just do 2, 2. And it sucks because we have a whole 8 more years until I don't have to write 2s anymore. Like, that's so long. And who knows, 3s are okay. They're better than 2s, but ugh. This one, yes. Okay. Keep hearing noises and it's freaking me out, but it's just things like getting blown by the fan. Like, who's in here? Okay, all done. That means stream's over. Time to clean up and head home. I'll show you all of my beautiful, I don't know how well, I don't want to tilt them too much. You can see decently. They look great. So excited to glaze them. Thank you, Pichu. Is anyone streaming that I can raid? Thanks, James. Rad bagels or rod bagels. Nice. Yeah, I'll raid Bud. It's just Bud Anthony, right? Thanks, Pichu. There's no like initial, it's just Bud Anthony. I guess we'll find out. Oh, thanks, Weird Adult, for the 300 bits. Okay, good, that's the right guy. Alright. Stream's breaking again, but I will see you guys in the future for more Bagel Bites or games. We will see. But I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you later.